It's more like a whirlwind of controversy waiting to happen. Word on the street is that Kanye's not holding back this time. Rumors are flying left and right, alleging that he's about to drop some major truth bombs on Hollywood's predators. Yeah, you heard me right. He's supposedly taking aim at some big names in the industry. And if that's not enough drama for you, there's talk that these so-called predators are scrambling to shut Kanye down before he spills the tea. But let's be real here. Kanye West can't be muzzled that easily. He's proving that with his epic comeback and the juicy bombshells he supposedly got up his sleeve. So, who are these predators he's targeting, and why are they so desperate to silence him? Let's get into it. So, here's the deal with Kanye. He's always been one to push the boundaries, right? But that's kind of landed him in hot water with the public, and it's definitely taken a toll on his career. I mean, the guy's been laying low for ages, and maybe it's because of all the backlash he's faced. But does that stop him? Nope, not even close. He's back with a bang, and you bet he's stirring up controversy like it's nobody's business. Now, let's rewind a bit. Kanye's never been one to mince words, especially when it comes to calling out the powers that be. He's straight up said that some big shots have a hold over certain celebs, and he's even thrown around the idea that he's untouchable, like he can say whatever he wants without consequences. I can say whatever I want and not go to jail, Ye tells the camera. They can't control me, you get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq, they can control Charles Barkley, they can control LeBron James, they can control Jay-Z and Beyonce, but they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name. It's up. Ye then brought up his deceased mother, claiming she was sacrificed before adding, I'm the P that never K nobody, but that means I can say whatever I want. My mama ain't here, my mama was sacrificed. You can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozies, none of these names. None of these people that have to listen to y'all. I never K nobody. I'm the P that never K nobody, but that means I can say whatever I want. He then goes on to mention Michael Jordan's father, insinuating that the basketball legend's dad was similarly sacrificed.
Control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me.
Not
You see, it
you.
ain't no name I won't name.
Exactly.
It's up. I can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozies, none of these names. None of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail.
Now, whether Kanye's claims hold any truth or if he's stirring the pot remains uncertain. This adds another layer to the complexities of the music industry. And as more stories emerge, it becomes increasingly disturbing. And now, folks are speculating maybe that's why Kanye's always been so unapologetically himself. Maybe these powerful players are trying to pull his strings, but he's just not having it. He's refusing to be controlled. And that's why he's out here speaking his mind without a care in the world. All right, let's dive into the latest track from Ye called Carnival and the whole drama surrounding it. So Kanye's gone and dropped some controversial references in this song. I mean, he's not holding back at all. He's rapping lines like, anybody pissed off, gotta make him drink the urine, and then he drops names like R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, which definitely raises some eyebrows. But here's where things really heat up. He brings Taylor Swift back into the mix. Remember that whole thing from 8 years ago? Kanye's still bringing it up. Back in 2016, he stirred the pot with lyrics like, I feel like me and Taylor might still have SEXY. I made that be famous. And now he's at it again with lines like, I mean, since Taylor Swift, since I had a Raleigh on the wrist, I'm the new Jesus B. I turned water into Chris. This for what they did to Chris. They can't do SHT with this. And let me tell you, the internet's blowing up over this. Fans are not happy about Kanye bringing up Taylor Swift again, especially considering how it affected her mental health last time. It's got everyone talking and debating, and the reactions are all over the place. Some are calling him out, while others are trying to make sense of what he's trying to say. Either way, it's definitely got people talking. One fan commented, mentioning Taylor's name next to a bunch of men who are SEX offenders is definitely a choice. Another fan lamented, not the Taylor name dropping again. I thought we'd move past this. Now, Kanye name dropping some seriously controversial figures like Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, and Puff Daddy in his song is pretty wild, considering the shady stuff these guys have been involved in. Take Bill Cosby, for example, once celebrated as a prominent figure in American television and pop culture. Initially established his career in the 1960s as a stand-up comedian in San Francisco. Over the following decade, he achieved significant success with multiple Grammy Awards for Best Comedy Album from 1965 to 1970. However, his legacy took a drastic turn due to his involvement in egregious actions. In late 2014, numerous allegations surfaced accusing Bill Cosby, a prominent American media media personality, of engaging in essay against multiple women over the course of his career. Cosby, renowned for his distinctive persona, earned the title of America's Dad for his portrayal of Cliff Huxtable on The Cosby Show, 1984-1992. Despite receiving numerous accolades and honorary degrees during his career, many of these honors have been rescinded in the wake of the allegations. Cosby has been accused by over 60 women of facilitated SA, S-battery, child SA, SEX misconduct, and SEX harassment. The earliest incidents allegedly took place in the mid-1960s. Allegations against Cosby became more public after a stand-up routine by comedian Hannibal Buress in October 2014, alluding to Cosby's covert SEX misbehavior. Thereafter, many additional claims were made. The dates of the alleged incidents have spanned from 1965 to 2008 in 10 U.S. states and in one Canadian province. Cosby has maintained his innocence and repeatedly denied the allegations made against him. Amid the allegations, numerous organizations severed ties with Cosby and revoked honors and titles previously awarded to him. Media organizations pulled reruns of The Cosby Show and other television programs featuring Cosby from syndication. 97 colleges and universities rescinded honorary degrees. A significant number of the alleged incidents involving Bill Cosby exceed the statute of limitations for criminal legal proceedings. Nevertheless, criminal charges were brought against him in one case, and numerous civil lawsuits were initiated. As of November 2015, 8 ongoing civil suits were underway, with attorney Gloria Allred representing 33 of the alleged victims. The unsealing of court records in July 2015, stemming from Andrea Constand's 2005 civil suit against Cosby, revealed a deposition where he admitted to engaging in casual SEX involving the recreational use of the sedative hypnotic methaqualone, Quaaludes, with multiple young women. Cosby acknowledged the illegal dispensing of the prescription. In December 2015, 3 Class II felony charges of aggravated indecent A were filed against Cosby in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, based on allegations by Constand regarding incidents in January 2004. The first trial in June 2017 ended in a mistrial, but at the retrial on April 26, 2018, Cosby was found guilty of 3 counts of aggravated indecent A. Subsequently, on September 25, 2018, he was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in state prison, fined $25,000, and ordered to pay $43,000 as the cost of the prosecution. Cosby appealed on June 25, 2019, and though initially upheld, the verdict was later granted an appeal by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. On June 30, 2021, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, citing an agreement with a previous prosecutor, overturned the conviction, preventing Cosby from facing the same charges a third time. Following his release from prison, Cosby continued to face legal challenges. In 2014, Judy Huth filed a civil suit in California alleging SA in 1975 when she was 16 years old. The trial, which commenced in 2022, resulted in a ruling in Huth's favor, with Cosby ordered to pay $500,000 in compensatory damages. In 2023, 9 additional women filed SA suits against Cosby, further extending his legal troubles. Then there's R. Kelly, who will serve a total of 31 years in prison for child porno, racketeering, and SEX-TFK convictions, a judge in Illinois decided, following decades of SA allegations, lawsuits, and criminal charges against the 56-year-old disgraced R&B singer. He was convicted by a Chicago jury on 3 counts of production of child porno and 3 counts of enticing a minor into criminal SEX activity. The Chicago trial was based on allegations from 5 minors who say they were aided by Kelly in the 1990s, and one victim testified under a pseudonym that Kelly began engaging in SEX acts with her when she was 14, some of which were recorded. At the New York trial, prosecutors called 45 witnesses, 11 of whom said Kelly S.'d or physically aided them, and some of whom testified to orchestrating Kelly's marriage in the 1990s to the late singer Aaliyah when she was 15. Kelly also faced a series of lawsuits throughout the 1990s and 2000s for allegedly having SEX with minors. Tiffany Hawkins sued Kelly in 1996, alleging he had SEX with her when she was 15 and he was 24. Former Epic Records intern Tracy Sampson sued Kelly in 2001, alleging he S.'d her when she was 17, and Patrice Jones sued him in 2002, alleging he forced her to get an abortion after impregnating her when she was underage. And then there's Diddy. He was exposed when his ex-girlfriend Cassie filed a lawsuit against him. This legal roller coaster kicked off on November 16, 2023, when Cassie filed a lawsuit, spilling the beans about a decade of alleged and violence during her relationship with Diddy. He straight up denied everything, calling it an extortion move on Cassie's part. As talks shifted toward a settlement, Cassie's lawyer gave her props for speaking out. The lawsuit painted a harsh picture, claiming Diddy molested and aided Cassie when she was 19 and he was 37. It also spilled details about Substance A allegedly pushed by Diddy, messing up Cassie's life. Diddy's lawyer made it clear that settling didn't mean an admission of guilt. They were sticking to the denial story before the settlement. Cassie's legal rep fired back, saying Diddy tried to drop a big bag of cash to shut her up, but Cassie wasn't having it. She wanted to be a voice for women dealing with similar issues, not just take the money and run. Before things got sorted, Diddy's lawyer spilled that Cassie was demanding a whopping $30 million and throwing around threats of spilling the beans in a tell-all book. He straight up called it blackmail and dismissed the whole lawsuit as a bunch of lies. According to the lawsuit, Diddy was running the show in Cassie's life, from her finances to digging into her medical records. Cassie spilled that an MRI showed memory loss, blaming it on Diddy's physical aggression and the pills he pushed her to take, especially loads of painkillers. He was like her personal pill supplier. Back in 2016, Cassie tried to cut ties with Diddy, and things got absolutely insane. The cops had to step in. But get this, she didn't press charges because she was genuinely scared of Diddy's unpredictable nature. After their intense fights, he tried to smooth things over by showering her with fancy gifts, but the bruises on Cassie told a completely different story. He ended up hiding her away in hotels for recovery. Now the lawsuit spills all the details on Diddy's alleged repeated physical against Cassie, painting a seriously grim picture. It's so intense that it's drawing parallels to the infamous Ike and Tina Turner situation. So Kanye throwing these men's names in his song and somehow trying to put himself in the same league as them is seriously messed up. But some folks are saying he's just straight up not giving a damn. It's like his way of flipping the bird to all the shady industry bigwigs trying to control him. And then you've got Cat Williams spilling some serious tea during his chat on Club Shay Shay, where he basically dragged the entire industry by its balls, airing out all the dirty laundry. Cat's saying that Kanye's been getting played by the industry for years, but since he's not playing by their rules, they're trying to paint him as the crazy one.
We're pretty awful people if we say that somebody got a mental illness and then we watch what they do.
But here's the kicker, Cat's pointing out the irony of it all. Even though they're calling him unstable, they're still judging him by the standards of a so-called normal person.
If you say somebody got special needs, then why would you be watching them and holding them accountable like everybody else?
He's basically saying if Kanye's got any mental health issues, the industry's the one to blame for putting him through the ringer. But wait, there's more. Dave Chappelle's chiming in too, shedding some light on how ruthless this industry can be. He's suggesting that Kanye might be beyond repair after everything he's been through. And considering Chappelle's own run-ins with the industry, he's definitely got some street cred on this topic.
Kanye is crazy at all. I think he's possibly not well.
This whole situation's kind of like a mirror image of what Chappelle went through when he turned down a boatload of cash and walked away from Chappelle's show. It wasn't just about his career. It was a statement about the messed up dynamics of the industry, especially when it comes to humor, race, and how you're perceived. Back in 2004, Dave Chappelle was doing a stand-up gig in Sacramento, and things got real. You know that whole "I'm Rick James B" catchphrase from his show? Well, the audience kept yelling it out, and it kind of got under his skin. He even took a break from the stage to vent about how the show was messing with his life. Turns out, he wasn't feeling the crazy work hours and how the show's success was taking over his whole vibe, especially since he wanted to focus more on his stand-up gigs. Chappelle didn't hold back either. He straight up said the network suits didn't get why people liked his show, calling them out for thinking the audience was dumb. But then he had a real moment of honesty, admitting he misjudged things by saying, "You people are stupid." He said, "You know why my show is good? Because the network officials say you're not smart enough to get what I'm doing, and every day I fight for you. I tell them how smart you are. Turns out I was wrong. You people are stupid." And then, just when everyone was gearing up for season 3 to drop in 2005, Chappelle threw everyone for a loop by bouncing during production and jetting off to South Africa. In interviews later on, he opened up about feeling unsatisfied with where the show was heading and needing some serious downtime to figure things out while dealing with a ton of stress. He said, "Coming here, I don't have the distractions of fame. It quiets the ego down. I'm interested in the kind of person I've got to become. I want to be well-rounded, and the industry is a place of extremes. I want to be well-balanced. I've got to check my intentions, man. So, after Dave Chappelle bounced from his show, people started gossiping like crazy, speculating all kinds of reasons for his exit. Some tabloids were throwing around ideas about or mental health issues, which totally went against what Chappelle himself had been saying about why he left. But here's the deal. By walking away from the show, Chappelle had to kiss goodbye to a massive $50 million contract with Comedy Central, and it put a serious strain on his partnership with Neil Brennan, who was his longtime collaborator. Even though Chappelle dipped out, his show's still getting aired all over the place, proving just how much people still love it, even though there aren't as many episodes as your typical syndicated TV show. And let me tell you, Chappelle's exit is still a hot topic. It's brought up in interviews and profiles all the time, adding layers to discussions about his comedy and personal journey. In his special Bird Revelation, Chappelle gets deep, comparing his decision to leave the show to themes from the book Pimp by Iceberg Slim. It's like he's giving us even more insight into why he did what he did. And during a sit-down with Oprah Winfrey back in 2006, Chappelle didn't hold back. He straight up called out the entertainment industry for not understanding the experiences of Black entertainers and their audiences. He even pointed out this weird pattern of putting every Black dude in movies in a dress at some point, saying it's all connected.
Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every Black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career,
So, Dave Chappelle was on Inside the Actors Studio at Pace University's Michael Schimmel Center for the Arts in December 2005, and the episode aired in February 2006. And get this, just a few days before that, he was at the 48th Annual Grammy Awards, doing a musical tribute to Sly Stone. Dude was everywhere. During that interview, Chappelle got real about why he peaced out to South Africa. He opened up about losing his dad 7 years earlier, and how that played a big part in his decision. See, he'd been burying himself in work, not giving himself time to properly deal with his dad's passing. And those rumors about him being in rehab or getting mental help, yeah, they definitely factored into his choice to stay in South Africa for a while. He said, "I would go to work on the show and I felt awful every day. That's not the way it was. I felt like some kind of prostitute or something. If I feel so bad, why keep on showing up to this place? I'm going to Africa." The hardest thing to do is to be true to yourself, especially when everybody is watching. But here's where things got heavy. Chappelle started talking about certain sketches from his show that he felt kinda iffy about. There was this one called the Pixie sketch where he's in blackface, and it's all about racial stereotypes. He admitted feeling uneasy during filming, especially when he thought a crew member was laughing at him instead of with him. It was a moment that made him really question what he was putting out there and how it was being perceived. So yeah, Chappelle gets what Kanye's dealing with in the industry. But to really understand just how messed up Kanye's been, let's dive into the controversies that messed up his career. It all kicked off when Kanye made major headlines at his Yeezy Paris Fashion Week show. He rocked a shirt with White Lives Matter on it and had Black models wearing it. It's a phrase associated with neo-Nazis and white supremacists, a direct response to the Black Lives Matter movement. People were not having it, and Kanye faced a ton of backlash from fans and celebs alike online. But wait, it gets worse. Kanye didn't back down. He went on Instagram, then hit up Twitter with some seriously anti-Semitic language in his posts. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, he kept on spouting off hate speech in interviews. The public wasn't having any of it. Companies like The Gap and Balenciaga straight up cut ties with him, and Adidas dropped their deal with him after he lost his billionaire status. Yep, you read that right. Kanye's net worth took a hit, now sitting at $400 million instead of being a billionaire. And to top it off, Forbes even kicked him off their billionaires list. Since then, Adidas has opened an internal investigation after several former employees accused West of inappropriate workplace conduct during meetings with Adidas employees. People in his orbit, from former girlfriend Julia Fox to collaborator Pusha T, have also distanced themselves from him. Furthermore, Ye's November 22nd dinner with Donald Trump and white nationalist Nick Fuentes was widely denounced, even by Trump's former vice president, Mike Pence. After Ye posted comments on Instagram that were considered by many to be anti-Jewish, the social media platform restricted the rapper's account due to a violation of the company's rules and guidelines. That led Ye to end his 2-year hiatus from Twitter to not only air his grievances with Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg over the suspension, but to also continue making anti-Semitic remarks. It's been a rough ride for Kanye, with brands ditching him, projects getting canned, and his music taking a hit.